Good morning. Tomorrow, my father would have turned 94 years old. In his honor and in his memory, I'd like to tell you two stories about him and what I have learned from those stories. The first is that my father was a rabbi for 50 years, but his favorite memory in all that time was he was walking down the hall of his synagogue and the preschool children were walking towards him in a line. And one of the girls broke from the line, ran over to my father, gave him a big hug, walked back into the line, turned to her friend and went, "He adores me." The other story I want to tell you is that it was in the middle of Kol Nidre, the very serious and somber service that begins Yom Kippur. And my father's synagogue had 1,600 families, so it was a huge crowd. And in the middle of this very serious and somber prayer, suddenly my father notices two small children are walking up onto the pulpit. And one looked at my father and said, "Rabbi Wolpe, he's lost, and I know you know everyone, so can you find his mommy and daddy?" I tell you these stories because what was really remarkable about my father and about the synagogue in which I grew up was that children always felt very comfortable there. Are our synagogues places where children feel comfortable? Or are synagogues places where they are told yet again, this is a place where you should be quiet and completely unseen and unheard? And if it's the latter, why are we so surprised that when they grow into adults that they don't want to be there? I've always maintained a policy in every synagogue where I've served that if there are little kids who are making noise and disrupting the service, leave them alone. Let them be little kids. Let them know the synagogue is a place that welcomes them and encourages them to be who they are. That is one of the great lessons I learned from my father. And when every synagogue in the world learns that lesson, maybe we will have children who feel more comfortable coming to the synagogue once they're adults. Have a great Shabbos, and I'll see you on Monday.